I thought I'd do a little unboxing today. I went to my local music store. Shout out to TB Winds in downtown Denton, Texas. Quite like that place, actually. Brand new store, lots of good stuff there. And I needed some new reeds, so I'm going to be trying out some new Legeres. And I bought three new Legere Reeds, one for B-flat clarinet, one for alto sax, one for bass clarinet. And we're just going to try them. And the first one I have here is the European cut B-flat clarinet reed. And this is in their signature series, and from what I understand, a lot of players are really liking these European cut. They're based on the soprano saxophone reeds a little bit. And I've been using on here just a regular standard 2 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and, by the way, this is my A clarinet. I'd rather demonstrate on the A than on the B flat right now, but I'm just going to give a quick demo, just do a quick F major scale. Now I'm going to switch over to the European signature, and this is a 3 3/4. It is a full strength, more than the standard, but from what I understand, their numbering system is a little bit off. And if you'll take a look here, I have in my left hand, so it'll be on the right side of the screen, the European. It is considerably wider. It's shorter as well. So let's put this on and just see what happens. And I can already tell just by looking at it, it's got a different, for lack of a better term, grain pattern in it than the standard reed does. So it's almost a zigzag in the interior of the reed. Oh, there's a very different sound in that. So let's just do the F major scale again. That has a little bit of bite, a little bit of a ring to it. It's a little more difficult to play, but I knew I was going up in strength. And articulation is so much cleaner on here. Easily clear up to high C as long as I can remember the fingerings. Yep, that's my new reed of choice. Let's try this really quickly on, what clarinet is this? That's a C. And that's actually, I think, the first time I've ever popped out a high C on the C clarinet. The only problem is the mouthpiece doesn't like going between the A and the C because there's slightly different tenons. All right, going on. That works. That is a much improved reed over what I had before. Now, Next, in fact, the newest instrument in my collection. I've had this since November. My bass clarinet. This is a old Vito. It's not in great shape right now. I've got to get some work done on it. The upper register really doesn't play, and I've really got to get a new mouthpiece. This is an old stock Bundy piece. And all right, here we go. Now for this, I am using another Signature Series. It is a 2 3/4, and from what I understand, you kind of want these to be just a little softer. So let's just see. I don't even need to put it in my mouth. I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, and I just realized something. I'm going to stop the recording for a bit. I got to go grab something. I had to grab a neck strap. This bass clarinet did not come with a peg on it, and I haven't had a chance to put one on yet. I will probably be doing that here in the next couple weeks. All right. So, let's just see how this sucker plays. Now, I will say right off the bat, but before I put this reed on here, I really could not play above Clarinet G. So I really had just about a 2-octave range on this instrument. I may still, I don't know yet. So we'll see how it goes there. Oh my, that's very different. Okay, so some thoughts on this. It's probably a little bit on the weak side. That's okay. I think some of that is I've got to really change embouchure with this thing, and I have not figured it out yet. As you can tell, you could hear how in the upper register it started getting kind of wonky. So I got to figure out if there's a leak in there or what. But the lower register plays fairly well. The only solo I've ever played in orchestra on bass clarinet, Tchaikovsky 6. Oh, if I'd had a Legere Reed then. That was the most nerve-wracking solo I've ever played. Interesting. So right now I can't get a lot of the big meaty, reedy sounds, but I'll probably need a strength or two harder. One more reed, and I'll be back just a second. Last Legere Reed for the day is going to be for my alto sax. Now, with my alto sax, I play on an original vintage Bisher mouthpiece. And from my research, this is perhaps one of the most closed-facing mouthpieces in existence. Again, from my research, I haven't measured this, but the original facing was about 0.45 opening, 0.48. It's under 0.5. And that is, there are players out there using openings double this on alto. So this is as closed of a facing as you can get. In fact, I may have one that's more closed. I have an old Holton, but Anyway, so what I've got on here is a classic 2.5. Now, one thing I have noticed as I've played on this reed is as I get into the upper register, it's just not strong enough. So what I've done is I've got a little bit stronger reed here. This is a signature series, again. And it is a, what is this? This is a 3.25. So it's a couple bumps up, and we'll just, again, see how it plays. And again, looking at the two reeds, the internal structure of them is just completely different between the classic and the signature. I don't really even know. This is nearly transparent, whereas this is really cloudy. The transparent one being the signature series. Okay, so let's see what difference this sound makes. A little bit harder reed on this really closed old mouthpiece. That's easy. That's a nice sound. And I'm not a great altissimo player, but that gets me up to a high G. Which I don't think I've ever been able to just pop straight out. Maybe this is much more promising. And there's just a nice reedy quality to it that I had not had before. So I really like, at least for the B-flat clarinet, the alto sax, these Legere signatures, they really make a huge difference in the sound qualities that I'm getting. Bass clarinet, still going to have to experiment with that one some. But, you know, on all of these, this is my second Legere reed, so I figured, you know, bass clarinet will probably need to go through one or two. So for the kind of playing I do, a lot of swing band, a lot of church gigs, and just sitting in my composing studio, man, that's I'm endorsing the Legeres.